shop in the world, but I haven't had a single customer in 5 years. Yet every day, countless workers push buckets out, and when they return, they are holding a ton of silver. This is the biggest water house in the city, and I'm the boss. The money I make from selling water each month is up to 10,000 taels of silver. Awesome. But who would have thought that I, so rich, was a beggar 5 years ago? Back then, I was nearly starving to death. That's when the 9th prince, Zhao Feng, suddenly found me, wanting the ancestral jade pendant I carried, said to have a celestial connection. I knew I couldn't keep the treasure, so I proposed exchanging it for wealth and glory. Unexpectedly, Zhao Feng agreed, and I became his retainer. I thought I could live the high life with him, until one day, 5 years later, Zhao Feng suddenly asked me a strange question. If this prince wanted to return the jade pendant to you, I refused without hesitation. Then this subordinate should repay his highness's kindness. Just last year, I spent 3,000 taels of silver. This subordinate cannot possibly repay all that, even if I gave it my all. Ha ha ha, my retainer is quite the character. Spending 3,000 taels in a year. Zhao Feng's laughter eased my mind. I knew I had dodged a bullet today, so I flattered him. Your highness is truly virtuous. Seeing Zhao Feng nod, pleased, I chuckled inwardly. If it were someone else, they might truly fear and be grateful to him. But I, who had transmigrated here, ignored feudal etiquette. But one still has to eat, and I can't exactly turn the world upside down. Not now anyway. But what he said next made my heart skip a beat. This world has cultivators who can achieve immortality. This prince has contacted an immortal, and they originally wanted to meet you. I immediately pretended to be alarmed. This subordinate is just a mortal. How could I possibly be worthy of being noticed by an immortal? Your ancestors had a connection to the immortals, and that immortal was originally looking for you, but you already sold the jade pendant to me, correct? Zhao Feng's words were jarring. As a retainer, I had no choice, so I could only bow my head in agreement. Go to the treasury and receive 1,000 taels of silver. Zhao Feng's casual reward was enough for tens of thousands of disaster victims to eat for half a year. 3 days later, the prince's residence was decorated to welcome the immortal. Zhao Feng, dressed in gold, stood at the forefront, while I could only stand far away with a group of merchants. As I watched from afar, the clouds suddenly parted, revealing a beautiful Jade Flower Immortal descending slowly. The entire capital instantly fell silent, then erupted in cheers as countless people knelt. But strangely, whether intentionally or not, the Immortal suddenly turned towards my direction. Everyone around me instantly knelt down. I was the only one standing. The silhouette of the beautiful woman burned into my memory. Achieving immortality is such a beautiful thing. When I came back to my senses, the Jade Flower Immortal had already arrived in front of the prince's residence. Zhao Feng, wearing my jade pendant on his chest, bowed and said, Zhao Feng, the 9th son of the Zhao family, respectfully welcomes the immortal. Unexpectedly, the Jade Flower Immortal